Hi everyone, you're welcome to another tutorial. If you're new to this channel, you're welcome. My name is Jane. To my returning subscribers, I want to say a big thank you. So today we're going to be making this trending baby gown. This gown is for a 3-year-old. So we're going to start by drafting on a pattern paper. So the full length I'm working with is 21 inches for that gown. Then after that, I'll be marking the shoulder measurement, which is 4.5 inches. The neck depth and the neck width I'm working with is 2.5 inches. So after that, I am going to be connecting both points together. So for my shoulder slope, I'm going to be coming down from the shoulder area by half of an inch. Then I'll connect it to make the neck point there. So for my armhole depth, I am going to be coming down by 4.5 inches. Then I'll rule a line across. This new line will serve as my chest line. So this is where I'm going to be imputing the round chest measurement of the baby I'm working with, which is 5.5 inches. The dress to be free. Then I'll be adding extra 1.5 inches for ease. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing is that on that part, I'm going to mark my shoulder length. Then I'll connect the points to form the armhole line. So I'm going to be dividing my armhole by 2 equal halves. Then when I'm done, I'm going to be marking the 3 points together to form my armhole. So after doing this, the next thing is to mark the length of the gown. So on that part, whatever I have there, I'm going to be adding extra 2 inches so that the down part will form the A-line shape. Then I'll connect both points together. So to avoid sharp edge, I'm going to be coming up by 1 inch at that part. Then I'll connect it to meet the center front. So this is basically all. What I'm doing now is the back neckline because it's going to be shorter than the front. So that's the back, that's the front. So we are going to be cutting the back first. So once I'm done cutting the back, we are going to be doing a slash and spread method for this gown. So I'm just marking 2 inches apart on the pattern paper, after which, after marking, I also mark at the upper part. So after marking, I am going to use my ruler to connect the line. So you can see now that I am connecting the lines. So once I'm done, I'll make sure it doesn't get to the neckline because the neckline is going to remain the same. So I am going to just slash. So once I get to the neckline, I'll stop. So can you see that I didn't cut the neckline? So I'll do the same for the rest. So you can see that I'm done slashing it. So this pattern paper here is for us to draft the cap sleeve. So for us to get the cap height, I'm going to be doing the chest measurement of the baby divided by 12 plus 1 inches. So I got 2.8. So this 2.8 will form the cap height. So as you can see, I'm just marking the 2.8 there. So I just want to draft a basic sleeve first of all. So the 6 inches I'm marking is just the length of the sleeve. It's just for illustration parts. We're not going to use it. So I just want to show you where my cap sleeve will start from. So I'm just rolling a line across. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is that so the 6 inches I measured is the elbow point of the baby. So I just mark the circumference of the elbow at the end of the sleeve. Then I also mark the sleeve round of the baby at the upper part. So I just rule a line across. So from that part, I'm going to draw a straight line to the edge of the paper, just the way you're seeing. So after drawing the line, I am going to get the midpoint of that line. So I got 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to use my free hand. You know, it's just a busy sleeve for a baby, so you don't need much alteration like when you're doing an adult sleeve. So I'm just using my free hand to just connect the lines, the points like that to just form my sleeve. So you can see that I have formed my sleeve. So anything cap, that line is where your cap sleeve is supposed to stop, but it's going to be short if we leave it at that point. So we're going to be adding extra half inch or 1 inch at that point. So you can see the allowance I am creating now. So this is where we are going to be cutting from, normal not the normal cap height that we got. So you can see where I'm cutting from now. This is where we are going to cut from. Then you also cut the upper part to form your sleeve. So once I am done cutting it, you will see how it looks like. My paper is not on fold, but once I cut it on my pattern paper, you will see how it's looking. So the next thing that we're going to be needing is to place our main bodice on the fabric I am working with. This is a Scuba fabric that I am working with. So I'm just going to open the paper with about 2.5 inches all the way around. So it depends on the amount of fabric that you have. So I just want the down to be a bit free. So if you have enough fabric to work with, you can actually open it more than the way I'm doing it. So the 1 inch I'm leaving at the edge there is for zipper allowance. Remember, we are cutting the back first. So I'm just going to add my allowance at the neck point and also at the shoulder. Then the armhole remain the same. I'll just cut through just the way you're seeing. So at the down part, I will also leave an allowance at the down part. But the side, remember, we already added allowance on our side, so there will be no need for allowance. So this tool net is what we're going to be using for the ruffles at the down part. So I just made it 4 inches wide. So I got 2 yards of net. If you want your own to be fuller, you can get 3 yards for it. So this is the cap sleeve. I am just cutting it on our pattern. So it's on fold now because I folded my pattern my material into two. So you're going to see how it looks like after I'm done cutting it. So the next thing I did was that I also went ahead to cut an interfacing. I used the same pattern. The difference between the front and the back is that the front does not have zipper allowance. Everything is the same thing. So that is the interfacing is a bit shorter than the main material. So that is the front and the other side is the back. So the next thing that we are going to be doing is that we're going to go ahead to join our shoulder. So you go ahead and join the shoulder first of all. You can do the same thing for the interfacing. You join your shoulder. So this is the cap sleeve. I went ahead to cut 4 pieces. So I'm going to be using two for each. So I am going to stitch the down part and turn it. You can see when I stitch the down part of the cap sleeve, then I am going to turn it and give it a good press. So you can see that I have turned it and given it a good press. So this is how it's going to look like. We are going to stitch it on our main bodice. After I'm done, please cut 4. Then you use two for each. So after I'm done joining the shoulder, you can see how it's looking already. So the two that I cut, remember the wideness of the two is 4 inches. So I am going to go to my sewing machine and draw a gather stitch at the midpoint. So I'll run a gather stitch till I exhaust the net. So a detailed tutorial on how to draw a gather stitch, for those who don't know, it is also on my channel. Please go and check it out. So once I'm done with that, the next thing now is to work on the sleeve. So I'm going to pick my cap sleeve. So I'll notch the midpoint of this cap sleeve. So after notching the midpoint like this in a triangular form, so after notching the midpoint like this, in triangular form. I am going to be putting it right side facing each other. Can you see how it's looking? I'm going to sew it till I exhaust it on the armhole area. So can you see? I'll go over to my sewing machine and sew it and come and show you how it's looking. So guys, look at it. I've already stitched it on my armhole area. As you can see, it's looking beautiful. You can go ahead and give it a good press at this point. So once you are done with that, please make sure that the back is still open, because by the time you want to use your interfacing to cover the rough edge, you are going to be turning it through the back. So what I did was that, look at the interfacing that I cut out, which is the shorter one. I'm going to be placing it right side facing the right side. So I'll place it on the armhole. So place it on the armhole. Make sure that you turn your cap sleeve over just the way I am doing it, and then you pick your interfacing. You make sure that the shoulder area is meeting the shoulder area of the cap sleeve like this, just the way I am doing it. Then you go over to your sewing machine and stitch it till you get to the end. So the back neckline also and the front neckline, you can also stitch it, leaving the zipper part open. So I'll do it and come and show you. Can you see? I'm done stitching the armhole area, as you can see. Then I have also stitched the neckline round till I got to the back area. So we are going to be turning it out now from the back side. So that is why I said that you should make sure the back side is open, please. It's after you have turned it that you will fix your zipper allowance. You fix your zipper, sorry. So you can see how the fabric that I'm working with is very thick, so it was really hard for me to bring it out. So if you are working with a lighter fabric like a bridal satin or an ankara, I think it will be very easy to actually bring it out. But I ended up bringing it out anyway, as you can see. So you see, I brought it out. Can you see? The neckline now is covered. The armhole area is also covered. So I will also do the same thing for the other side. So I've gone ahead to turn both sides. So at this point, you can go ahead to fix your zip at this point. So after fixing your zip, the next thing now is to join the sides with the allowance that you left. So actually use 1 inch allowance for stitching it on both sides, because I want it to be free. So you can see how it's looking already. My zip has been fixed and the sides also has been sewn. So I also went ahead to hem the down part. You can leave the down part like that. It depends on you, since we're going to be doing a ruffle at the down part, but I just went ahead to just hem it down. Then the next thing that we're going to be doing after this is to work on the bow. So the bow, the big bow, I just made the wideness of it 11 inches, while the length is about 10 inches or so. So I'll go ahead and stitch the sides and leave the front part like 2 inches open, so that I can be able to turn it from that part. Then this long strip is to knot the bow as well. So the length, you can use any length that you actually like or you prefer. So this is like 27 inches and the wideness is about 4 inches. So I'll also go ahead to seal the down part of both sides. Then for this side, I'm going to stitch it halfway. Then at the middle part, I will leave like 2 inches allowance, 2 inches allowance open, where I'm going to be turning it from. Where my hand, you can see where I am placing. So I'm going to leave like a little inches where I'm going to turn it, so that all the rough sewing will be inside, it will not be outside. So I will do it and come and show. So guys, this is it. I have turned it on both sides. Look at the down part of the long strip is sealed. The side also is sealed. It's just the center part that is open, where I actually flipped it and turned it, and I gave it a good press. I also did the same thing for the bowl. You can see that opening there. That is where I turned it from and I ironed it. So look at the opening too on the long strip. That is where I turned it from and I also ironed it. So I'm going to go ahead and knot the bow as you can see. Then I would place it at the middle part. Then the long pink strip is what I am going to be using to knot the bow at the middle part. So I will use my hand needle to actually stitch this down. So you can use your hand needle to stitch this down, or you can use your sewing machine if it's okay by you. So a detailed tutorial on how to do a bow is also on my channel. You can go ahead and check it out because this is not the first bow I am making on this channel. So you can see how it's looking. So after you are done with using your hand needle to tack the bow down, so please make sure you tack the bow down before placing it on the shoulder to tack down. Then the next thing is to work on the ruffles. So when you are done doing your ruffles, please just place it on the down part and just sew along. So when you put the first one, when you are trying to sew the second one, push you will sew it open, like the middle part of the ruffle is where you're going to be sewing. So when you are putting the next one, you're going to push all outside and make sure that the next one is, you are going to be sewing it very close to the first ruffle that you sewn on the dress. I actually forgot to film this part. I just hope that you understood what I just said. So thank you so much for watching. This is how it came out. It came out really beautiful as you can see. So I am going to be seeing you in my next tutorial. If you have any question, you can drop any question for me. I am going to be answering it whenever I come online. So that will be all. Look at my bow. You can see that I tack it first before placing it on the shoulder area. Then I'm going to use my hand needle and also tack it at that point. So we are actually done with this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you like and share this video. Hit the subscribe button as well because that means a lot to me. Thank you so much and see you in my next tutorial.